What does Chris think?
About Spider-Man Brand New Day. I want to start by saying that I've been a Spider-Man fan for as long as I can remember. As a nerdy, unseen middle school and high school kid, I identified with Peter Parker in ways that it's hard to put into words. That desperate, quiet desire to just put on a mask and finally be myself. I gained an unflappable love for the character back in 1990 with Todd McFarlane's Torment storyline and his continued run in Spider-Man, later titled Peter Parker Spider-Man. Then, in 2002, I was floored by Sam Raimi. His take on Spider Man was amazing. I still consider his second movie to be one of the best comic book movies, live action comic movies ever made. I've been a Spider Man fan for 2/3 of my life. Now, that doesn't mean my opinion is inherently better than yours. I just want you to know where I'm coming from before we dive in. Spider Man Brand New Day lands as a film caught in a fascinating tug of war between high octane practical filmmaking and the overbearing demands of modern franchise building. It's easily the most grounded entry in the character's recent cinematic catalog, yet it struggles to completely shake free of that studio machinery. The film shines brightest when it gets back to the street level core of Peter Parker. By smartly jumping over 4 years via a stylish opening montage that serves as a love letter to classic comic book covers, the story trusts the audience to keep up, and we meet an older, battle tested Peter who carries actual weight, making hard choices without Stark's high tech fallbacks or an Avengers on the hotline, ready to reply. This shift in scale pays massive dividends in the action sequences. Unlike the floaty, overly polished CGI of past entries, Brand New Day relies heavily on practical, on-set, in-suit stunts that give the web-slinging tangible momentum. You feel every tight turn and close call as if you're like riding on his shoulder. And narratively, deep pulls like Detective Jean DeWolf, who only appeared in maybe 20 issues of all of Spider-Man, and of course the return of our friend Scorpion, it gives the story a sharp edge, while the dynamic between Spider-Man and Frank Castle provides brilliant banter, contrasting Frank's stoic violence with Peter's quips to highlight how Spidey's moral code matters. However, when stacked against the prior trilogy, the structural cracks kind of show. Where Homecoming maintained a tight, breezy narrative, disciplined in the way it spoke, and No Way Home delivered an emotionally earned spectacle, Brand New Day can feel like a film caught between two masters. It reaches for a gritty, street level character study, but the pacing stumbles in the final act under the weight of the obvious corporate setup for future slates. The climax occasionally feels less like an earned payoff and more like a checklist being ticked off. Ultimately, Brand New Day delivers a refreshing, back to basics evolution for Peter that excels in a practical craft and comic fidelity. It's a prime-time, popcorn-worthy ticket that succeeds as a fresh start, even if the narrative flow doesn't quite match the highest peaks of the franchise. The movie's been watched, and I'm Chris, and this is what I thought.